Good morning, everyone. We're going to do a little bit of a ceremonial candle lighting for the solstice. It's 10:25 on my clock right now. I believe 10:28 is the time of the peak solstice today. There's some very specific energies coming up today. The Iron Cross regarding, very interesting. So my Iron Cross that I was getting, and I researched the other day, came up in Magenta's video about the sword in Germany found. And I was getting a Japanese double-edged sword last night too in my read. And also the air in my pipes, I was having trouble clearing. And I watched Indigo. I haven't tapped into Indigo Angel in a while, and she was in Washington, D.C., talking about how there's smoke coming out of the sewage vents and the energy of clearing that. And again, the Iron Cross in my back, which I had to take Motrin for, which I try not to take. And again, my inversion table that I would use, again, inverting the distortions in the field right now. So all those energies are coming up. So we're going to talk about them some more and the energies that were coming up in the message from yesterday. And I have my mini twin flame read on the table here as well. And as you see in front of you, we have Ben Franklin as well to clear, because then Ben Franklin came up. And actually, this was a gift to my father from University of Pennsylvania. And of course, the Declaration of Independence went on, and when Ben Franklin came up, Big Ben also came up. So there's all these underground lines that are connecting here, and it makes sense that DC and Philadelphia would come up in the same energy. So, and also the Philadelphia experiment came up as well. We're clearing that. So when I went out to stretch this morning, I want to go ahead and light this in a minute when it turns 28 here. So when I went out to stretch this morning, I usually stretch in a certain spot on my deck, and I went closer to my my iPad because I was still listening, and I didn't realize it, but as I'm stretching, I realized I'm exactly in front of my table, an Iron Cross through my table, exactly. Like I was just right on that grid line. It was so weird. Okay, so let's take a deep breath, you guys, and send blessings, okay, around the world to clear all these lines, any distortions. As we go, it's just turned 10:28. Actually, I believe the time is 10:58, but that's okay, because we'll still be doing the video here. Okay. So we'll put that right on here. And it's in a coconut shell. So perfect. All right. So again, I believe the time is 10:58, but 10:28 is perfect too for us to light the candles. The 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, the 28 is the Twin Flames, that choice of path. So let's get into some more of these energies here. You might want to gaze into the candle flames here as well. And notice then now we have that energy of the two other candles in the background of 11 and 11 coming up as well. So let's see. So yesterday, when I was doing my stretches, there was a little bird trying to learn how to fly who had flown across my yard and tried to land on the kitchen windowsill, but didn't succeed. Like he got there, but then he fell to the ground. Then Teddy was out there, and I didn't want Teddy to hurt the bird. So I had to keep Teddy away from the bird, and then I had to kind of walk towards the bird to get the bird to hop across the yard and go into my next door neighbor's yard so that Teddy wouldn't hurt him by accident. And Teddy didn't seem like he wanted to attack him, but he was curious, and of course he could hurt him because he's a big dog. So that energy was coming up, the little birdie learning how to fly. And again, like I said, that the Iron Cross for me is very significant because I'm still having back pain this morning, and I had to take Motrin last night. And the German sword that was found, and then again, I got the Japanese double-edged sword and Excalibur, the clearing of those energies, and the Nazi energies, the Prussian energies, all about war. And again, literally, the pain in my back is between my wing and my neck, specifically, like, a sharp pain between my left wing and my neck, which is literally like being stabbed in the back. So we're clearing those energies. Oh, and what I remembered too, one of the past lives I remembered for myself, I have a little birthmark right in the middle of my back, right at the waistline. And I had seen that life of getting shot in the back as a boy and a child in the Nazi camps. So there was a soldier that was holding me, and I was trying to get out of his arms. And I did get out of his arms, and I ran away, and he shot me in the back. But in that life, I was dumped in the pits, but I was still alive. And I just remember watching the birds above me. So the birds were helping me to get through the pain as I died in the pits. And the pits, why were they just coming up as well? Something else came up. Maybe it'll come up in this read. I can't remember. So let's just take a deep breath. I do want to get out. Let's see here. Yeah, let's just bring up the one bowl. Okay. Take a deep breath. Send some white light anywhere you'd like in the world. Underground to the sewer lines to clear the distortions. Send lots of white light. Hugging gently around the world. Another deep breath. Feel that, hear that vibration. It's like the energy of going underground. And take one more deep breath. Getting that reminder of the heartbeat as well again. Remember, the heartbeat is the evening out in order to lighten up the up peak of the systolic beat, and then the waterfall of Lin, which is the lightening up, and the waterfall down to the diastolic and back up to the evening out again. So I pulled this first message of the day, where we're going to go into some of the messages here. We have the Starseed deck at the top, the Fortunes deck, the Good Tarot is that third deck, and then my Past Life deck, and then Rider Waite with all of the cards. So just pull it up a little closer so you can see the details. To the left is the underlying energies, pulling out 3 cards, and then the end is other cards that want to come out organically, and using them numerologically as well as to complete the storyline. I'm also getting, last night I was guided to go out and try to connect with Sirius and Lyran energies, both coming up very strongly right now, and the lion roar, right? So that longing of the lion as I'm losing my voice, you know, to get that anger out, to kind of howl at the moon, literally. And it was very cloudy and overcast last night, so I really couldn't see anything, but Sirius was peeking through. So I was able to get some connections there. I took some pictures of Sirius, and I posted them on my Instagram. So there's that too. I want to show you that Lions card because it's very strong energy. So, and the star's been coming up nonstop as well, and relating to our Sirius connection, but also Lyran system was coming up along with Elena Denon. And oh, I watched Elena last night. She did a short video about faith, which was beautiful. But also, I watched the 4th part of her series of Mesopotamia, which was very interesting. And I still haven't finished it. I think I got about halfway through. But she was talking about the connections. She was taking you through Mesopotamia and connecting Enki and Enlil with her actual visions that she's had with her connections at the Federation of World Meetings and things like that, or the Confederate ship meetings. So let's see, my eagle I'm sure some of that stuff will come up too as I go in my reads. And then Indigo Angel, I just watched, and again, this card's coming up. There we go. So that's been coming up a lot as well. And this one too, where the book is open. Again, the energy of the two pages coming together and binding in the middle. And the star there. Oh, there he is. All right, so this energy, literally, connecting with Sirius and the Lyran energy, with that longing, with that howling at the stars. It's like, you know, longing for home, calling out to your home, to your ancestors. So maybe you want to do a little ceremony with that, you can. The 16 is the tower as well. And the tower's been coming up nonstop too. Oh, interesting. Indigo brought the tower up. The Washington Monument, they were sitting in front of the White House. I believe it was the White House, with the Washington Monument sticking up from behind it, which they were saying was very dark energy where the Washington Monument was. They were talking about the Lincoln Memorial and the military underground being like an Emerald City. That was pretty cool. So check her out if you'd like to do that. But again, the Lyran energy and the unicorn as well. And the chariot here of Cinderella. And again, the 4 horses. But you see how sparkly and beautiful they are. Really shining your light. And the chariot also represents ascension. And then the plane is taking off here. And again, the different planes of existence here, coming up with the planes. And so, yeah, let's get into this read. So at 10:17, I pulled the Starseed deck, and then 10:18, the Fortunes deck. So 17 is the star, 18 is the moon, 19 came up with the Good Tarot, which is the sun, as well as the past life deck, and that Lyran energy. And then the Rider deck was at 10:21 to 22. And of course, today's the 21st of June. And by the way, my father's Gemini. He was born June 3rd, and my mother June 10th. I brought that up many times. But again, this was his gift, so I wanted to bring that up because we're you know, still in that Gemini going into Cancer energy. Oh, interesting, because they very much had that combination of energies, the Cancer and Gemini. Very family-oriented and yet very intellectual at the same time. The numbers that came up in my piles at the end of those decks was 21512, again bringing up 215, which is Philadelphia, and then 245614. And so I looked up 614, which was Columbus, Ohio, and Columbus coming to America. But the other area code with the 614 was 380, which is that energy of the Queen of Cups, with Source backing it up. Very interesting. But when I saw this online, just in the header for Columbus, Ohio, it also listed the coordinates of Columbus, Ohio, which was 40 degrees north by 83 degrees west, which is the inversion of 38, the Queen of Cups. But also that comes up with me and my daughter's names. So my soul number is 38, but my name adds up to 83. And my daughter's soul number is not 38, but her name adds up to 38. So it's interesting how many connections, the lines, the quantum entanglement, how it all comes together. So the energy of the 4 elements also came up. I kept getting sets of 4 cards, but they were all 4 elements. And here Pisces, Taurus, Sagittarius, and Libra were coming up. Philadelphia hangout with the Queen of Wands, keeping to themselves with patience. Philadelphia, divine masculine, divine feminine. Again, the city not of just brotherly love, but it's literally translates as the city of brotherly and sisterly love. The Omega energy, and again, there's one of the distortions. The Omega, or 1224, master of the hidden house, and referencing the hanging man, and the Queen of Wands, which is the enlightenment at the crown, the Omega energy, the master of the hidden house and the alchemist, of 6-4, or June 14th, which is a very significant day for me, along with the 15th, and again, the angels and the devils, and angels and demons came up the other day as well. I believe it was yesterday, actually. And then I think that's even Trump's birthday, isn't it? 6/14, I don't remember, but I think that is. The energy of the lovers also with Gemini and the higher love. So we're leaving Gemini going into Cancer today. The 614 area code and the 380 of Columbus, Ohio, and then the world and the hanging man. the divine feminine and divine masculine and their wisdom together, the two sides of Pisces, of this world and that world. To the 456D was coming up, as well as pick up sticks, 456 pick up sticks, and then it was coming up as 60, so 60 and 61 then were coming up in the Lambda Leap, which is the 6 of Swords and the 7 of Swords, of peace, and then taking that risk of the Lamb to Father, which is the Lion and the Lamb kind of energy, leap, Philadelphia to Columbus, and then it was bringing up Philadelphia, Egypt to America, and again coming to America with Neil Diamond was coming up, and today, and I'm getting it again, like it's like, so I can't explain to you how powerful that is. So I looked up Neil Diamond's background too today, which I'll get into in a second. I just want to finish this section. So Egypt coming to America, so of course there's that reference of Atlantis to Lemuria as well. And then what came up was Bridget and the ram, and the ram's been coming up in my T cards like nonstop, like not just one ram, but rams facing off rams, like other Aries energies coming up being really arrogant and that kind of energy. But again, Bridget and bride, the energy of the bride in June, the June month, and the goddess Bridget or bride, I'm not sure how they might pronounce it in Ireland, but the goddess, my daughter had just hung out with a Bridget, so it was really interesting, and her name means lamb, and the energy of again women and their specific traumas, as you know what we're talking about, but also being kidnapped, taken without your permission, right? So that can reference something slightly different. And then I was just getting the stabbed in the back energy. As Bridget watches over the children and the animals, since her son was killed, I didn't read the whole story, but again, the energy of the wailing ceremony, as that I told you about that lion energy of the lion calling home in the wailing ceremony. And when I was in the south of France with Mercedes Kirkle's group, we went to the Mary Magdalene cave, and I'm sure I've told you guys this before. When we were doing the meditation in the cave, there was another group waiting. And as I went into deep meditation, one of the women like screamed like bloody murder, but I was already into this past life energy of being burned at the stake and pushed off the cliff right there. It's a very high cliff, and I didn't know what that birthing ceremony was they were doing out there, but it came up in my meditation, so it freaked me out because it took me back literally to being burned at the stake and pushed off the cliff. So this wailing ceremony, right, of the mourning mother and that lion that I showed you is definitely coming up for this solstice. And Bridget, the energy of Bridget and the ram, she had a king of sheep. And that's really interesting too, because Teddy's my daughter's puppy. He's turning 2. Oh my gosh, it's a month from today. So his second birthday is on July 21st. But Teddy is an Australian shepherd, and of course he nips at our heels all the time because he herds sheep. And here's the king of sheep, and my daughter's name means lamb, so here's that connection as well. So Bridget and the ram, and she also had 2 oxen of radiant beauty, and the Torquetrioth, the powerful boar, the prince that was cursed and made into a boar. So I don't know those stories. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the names incorrectly. But then Egypt to America. And like I said, Neil Diamond, it came up again, coming to America. Today, my country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing, of thee I sing. Today, with the huge American flag behind them, as we have Ben Franklin sitting in front of us, reading the Declaration of Independence. MythologySource.com. I was also getting that connection to Elena, which is probably why I watched her video last night, because Egypt came up, and she's an anthropologist. And the E.T. Gypsy was coming up with her, and there was a connection of her to Bridget. And she's French, but she lives in Ireland, and she was raised in very much those um, perhaps learnings from her passed down through generations of, work with nature. So I looked up to see, I was getting that coming to America. So I didn't know if Elena was coming to America, the Egyptians coming to America, and then I was getting actually our galactic friends coming to America. So 3/19/23, I found something online that was the Galactic Elena Denon Research Center, but it's somebody else who wants to expand on her information, but she wasn't interested because she felt their energy was pulling in dark energy or something like that. Anyway, you can look that up if you want to, the Galactic Elena Denon Research Center, but they're looking for people to expand on her information, again, because every time we connect with someone, like I do at the other sites, I get information, but then it connects with these other sites, which then expands the knowledge of the information. So I think it's kind of interesting, actually. That was galacticanthropology.org also coming up. And then A Beautiful Noise was coming up. So when I looked up Neil Diamond, A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond musical, with new block of tickets that were being sold. Also, Blackie Onassis from Urge, the band Urge, did Neil Diamond's Girl, You Want to Be a Woman Soon from Pulp Fiction. And he passed away at age 57 on June 15th was the message. I don't know if that's the day he actually passed. But he actually looks like Neil Diamond as well. So there's that energy of 6, 14, and 15, and angels and demons, and the energy lines of the rose lines, which I just brought up in the last couple videos, and the energy of the Da Vinci Code, of course, and angels and demons coming up. And when Pulp Fiction came up with Blackie Onassis, I got a major connect at 11:19. So you might want to pull up Girl, You'll Want to Be a Woman Soon from Pulp Fiction. And again, I was trying to clear the water pipes yesterday. So again, the Iron Cross and the underground water pipes, the distortions, the inversions. And again, the Iron Cross is on my left side, so that's feminine energy, and then Bridget's coming up. So there's this connection there. The underlying energies here at 11:27, which is justice and alignment, the 27 of the Ace of Wands, and the 79 of the, for me, 79 is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So it's getting to the other side. Let me see if I can. There we go. So getting to the other side of the bridge. And then when I pulled the Starseed deck cards, it started with the underlying energies of dimensional planes of perception number 7, which represents Uranus and Aquarius, and the number 7, of course, for me, and shifts. The 35 of the Wish card, the 2 of Wands giraffe, as in Jeffrey, like Toys R Us, and then the karmic relationship in the past life deck, along with the High Priestess reversed. So again, this inversion of the High Priestess of the Divine Feminine, of those who were burned at the stake and thrown off the cliff. I also was getting, at that same time at the Mary Magdalene cave, I also was getting a past life of literally being a baby being tossed off the cliff. The pot of gold and the path of change and adjustment, activating the chromosome pairs of 7 and 16 for the light body expansion. And again, this is the dimensional planes of perception number 7. The light body expansion with new paradigms, graduation to the other side with gifts, the heart opening with wish as the wounded warrior's dreams and desires about to come true. And then I was triggered that when I had my daughter, I was 35 years old. So there's that energy of the wounded warrior, and the ET's heart glowing bright white, the little girl drained, riding that giraffe, with the giraffe holding the lantern, and that change of path with the karmic relationship of war and planes. Again, a lot of double meanings here. And the secret passion and the need to use your intuition, perhaps needing to keep knowing your own knowing to yourself, or stop revealing when you're feeling wiped out like that. At 1151, which is Justice and the King of Swords, which can be Libra, King of Swords, the underlying energy of the Prism of Existence, number 20, the 5 of the Heart and Awakening, the 12 of the Seal of Fulfilled Transformation, and the 79 of Dimensional Planes of Perception, number 7, on top. The Wake-Up Call to Freedom and the Awakened Heart, sealing the deal with wise perspective and the shift, adjustment, or just wiggling a little. So, and again, there's that bobbling of the earth. And that came up too, the picture of the tilt of the earth being, I think it's 22, 3, 4, 5. Or 5, 4, 2, 3. I think it's 2, 3. I don't know. I wrote it down. But there's that exact sequence of the earth's tilt that came up. It's 1154, again, the Page of Swords message. The 78 of the 10 of Pentacles and Dimensional Planes of Perception, number 6, which represents Saturn and Capricorn. And the three names here that came up or the stones that came up were Hiddenite, which was bringing up the master of the hidden house, the alchemist, and then Danburite, referencing the Dan, which can reference DNA, and the And, which is Andromeda, and also Lane and Danan coming up. And the Danan energy came up historically too in the stuff that I was researching for my message today, but just spelled with 2 A's instead of an E. No, Danan, I'm sorry, it was 2 N's and her name has 2 A's in it. But, and also Fina's site was coming up, which was bringing up the Phoenix. All chakras and mastery, acceptance and accountability, true freedom in facing oneself at all levels and transmuting the detrimental patterns. Activating the chromosome pairs 6 and 15, as June 15th just came up. The other one was 7/16, so maybe that's a significant date as well. So June 15th and July 16th coming up here for enhanced spiritual mastery. And then the next card, which did not get pulled here, was also coming up though, because 81 is the last planes card, which is the number 9 of chromosomes 9 and 18, which is my birthday, which I got up at 9:18 this morning. I woke at 8:23 and I got up at 9:18. The skeleton key of cosmic calculator then came up of repatterning guidance. The 38 of the Queen of Cups again. The 17 of the star and the seal of the individuality of authority and integration. And then the 64 and 16 came up together, which is the 10 of swords and the 6 of swords, like the pool table. And I was getting, the picture reminded me of a pool table. You know how they always have the low hanging lights over the pool table? That was coming up. And the temple of centering, 64, of solitude, seclusion, and belonging. The 60 of peace and the chamber of illumination of beliefs and hidden perception, or ideals and perception, beliefs, ideals, and perception, and finding bliss, the surrender, which is also sleep. When you go to sleep every night, that is a surrender. The graduation of the 10 of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups for dreams to come true of peace and or peaceful travel and or bliss in the release of the Iron Cross and that system. Okay, so there's a lot of German energy around that, but Japanese also came up with the sword, the double-edged sword, and getting stabbed in the back. The 14 of judgment and open a book to a page. In the pot of gold is patience, balance, and a higher love. And then 621 came up right here as the solstice energy. Under the star and angels open a book, a tower moment, and there's that tower again, of that lion's roar, of longing and the wailing of the mother's heart, calling home, wailing in a cry, like extreme grief of Teddy's yawn. And again, that was the group outside the Mary Magdalene cave doing a ritual of grieving. And again, when Teddy yawns, he looks very much like that lion and that longing energy. So again, the yawn is a release. It's a purge. So yawning and perhaps longing or doing those cries or howling at the Sirius star as we approach Lionsgate, but also the Lyran energies, connecting with Lyran, the Lyran system and Sirius. And then Aquarius, and again, the energies of the Lion star of Sirius, right? 8-8 is the Earth connecting exactly with Sirius. Of 17, 16, and 3, of beware of shapeshifters in Mother Nature or in Mother's nature. Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus with Saggy came up here. And again, the 4 elements of the star and the tower and the magical powers when the pages come together and bind. So again, bringing your children together with you. So I kind of wanted to do that ceremony, that birthing ceremony or that grief ceremony with my kids last night, but they ended up dispersing. So probably tonight we'll go out and do it. But again, the power of pulling in your children and bringing that energy together to release that energy as the wounded warrior and the wish. The heart's desire is ready to come true in the lighting of the heart, but the lightening of the heart, where all 4 elements, which is ether, is activated with the representative 3 of us, and connecting to source energy or that Sirius connection. So call on Bridie as well for the June solstice. Again, went today at 10:58. Oh wow, it's 10:57. So right when I went to tell you the time of the solstice, it's the minute before. So there's that 11th hour energy in the 0 point field. 10:58 a.m. now is that energy. So let's just take a moment of silence for the connection to the solstice right now. Send your energies of love and healing anywhere you would like right now. I'm getting that triangle from Egypt coming down the Gibraltar Strait to America, connecting to Philadelphia and Washington, D.C., of course, both very significant and representing the United States. And the Bermuda Triangle is coming up, reflecting that. Just getting a big clear right there. All right, there's that inversion of the Bermuda Triangle into this triangle between Egypt and Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. And there is an energy of the Bermuda Triangle pointing towards Washington, D.C. as well. And it's just flipping it. So just focusing on that. I'm getting to merge the 2 triangles together. So like always, you identify, observe the polarities, and then collapse them towards the middle. There's this energy also of dancing all night and jumping the broom, because this is June for this summer solstice, 10:58. And the tilt of the earth was 23.45 as we hit 59 on the clock, which is the 11th hour, the moment before that 0 point field. So 23:45 degrees is the tilt of the earth, 23 is the King of Wands this year, and the 45 is the purge, the wailing that I was just talking about of this connection here. Which then summer is considered 6:21 to 9:23, and there's that 23 again of the King of Wands. From the 6 to the 9 is the 698 pod, and that's the 8 in the middle of Lionsgate, June to September with Lionsgate in the middle, the 698 pod, from the 21 to the 23. That's also 6 is Gemini, the lovers, and 9 is Virgo, which are the mercurial messengers. So then at 1:15 is the magician and the devil energy, or just the 15th perhaps. And the 2 of the angel, the 8 of the dragonfly, which kind of represents indigo and then magenta, that's funny, as the dragon. The 24 of patience, the 11 of flowers, and then 6 and 33, which are the Christ vibration. 33 is written 33/6. But the energy of 6, which is the base number, or that lower vibration of love, and then the exalted love of the 33 of the Christ vibration and unity consciousness, of the chariot and the unicorn, and then the 36 of Atlas and the world, which also came up as 121 here, of the two pillars, and then again the two energy of the feminine in the middle, the queen, the Q. The wounded warrior's heart all lit up. And again, they were referencing me at 35 as the wounded warrior, as the divine feminine energy and birthing and the birthing rituals. The angels and wings being spread. Again, the iron cross. I keep wanting to stretch my arms out and up and back, right? We always hunch over sitting all day. So it's really important that you guys arch. Perhaps, if you can't do this physically, make sure to check with your doctor. But to arch back over, like a workout ball, or even just lie off the edge of your bed. I was trying to get my son to do that because he's got very stiff joints. So it's really important that he do that because he's been having some issues. So I'm having issues on my left. His issue is on the right, representing the divine masculine in the back. The dance of the dragonfly, 2 as 1. The wings in the high heart, and then the lungs in the heart. So again, the lower 3D energy, and then the exalted energy of the physical body, of the lungs and the heart, and then the wings in the high heart here. 2 as 1 in that heartbeat of the ba-bum, as 2 as 1 heartbeats. And again, the heartbeat of evening out. And again, referencing using my name, so it's easy to remember. The eve of the evening out, right? Also the moment before. The leap up of the lightening up, and the waterfall down, and then coming back to center again. Again, the heartbeat. The 24 of the Queen of Wands and Omega of enlightenment, and 24 can represent the Pleiades as well, according to certain spiritual bloggers, that 24 is the number of the system. And again, remember, those are all human constructs, right? Source wouldn't use those kind of names. Source doesn't need names, but certainly other beings who may be higher vibration than us may still use names for certain things. But the 24 of patience of the hourglass, from the upper body, so the hourglass, or the middle of the infinity symbol, is coming up as the connection to the upper body and the lower body, which is connected by the psoas muscle. Okay, so that's that space between, from the upper body to the lower body, of clogs and indigestion, and hiatal hernia is also coming up there, obstructing what you eat and causing, air in the pipes, so to speak. And the patience to allow this to clear, right? Not overeat, to just, either juice or just allow things to go in very slowly and then go through very slowly to allow it to clear. The high priestess, and again, the air through your pipes, the sewers, through the drainage systems. Be patient with this clearing, and it will. Just keeps visualizing that clearing. And actually, I was doing clearing for my son, literally in his body yesterday. And again, trying to get a heartbeat, of holding certain spots on the body to clear the central line of the body, right, from the crown to the coccyx energy of the tail, and trying to get a heartbeat, right, holding those two ends and then spaces between to try to clear the energy lines, and wait until you get heartbeats felt in both fingers on both ends. And of course, don't use your thumb, because your thumb, you'll feel the actual heartbeat in your thumb. Aligning with flowers, be generous. The 6 and the 63 again of the Cinderella's chariot that I showed you, to sparkle and be led by the unicorns, reflecting each other over the bridge, in the chariots on its way to carry you to home. The lover's bridge, and Bridget again. At 1:33 was the time now, at the leap to the 33 Rainbow Bridge. The family ascending an octave up, and again we talked about that in the last video too, about going from the 21, a sign of completion, to the 24, sign of completion, jumping an octave in vibration, ascending the family an octave to the unity consciousness. As Frosty and Pinocchio both come to life, right? Happy birthday, and Pinocchio, no longer telling lies, right? Becomes a real live boy. As the twin flames pin that I was described, and the pinwheel, the twin flame being that digamma energy as well, of the push and pull, and the quantum entanglement of the electromagnetic field, and the atlas of the world on a 23.45 degree tilt. The King of Wands to purge tonight, All right, so he's the lion roaring and longing for home, calling out to his home in perhaps the Pleiades as well. The Sirius connection, the Pleiades connection, and the Lyran connection here. Andromeda came up as well. So whatever resonates with you, whatever system resonates with you, do that wailing call to your home. The flowering, and again, you may have been in all of those homes. It may not just be one being your home. Remember, source is your ultimate place of origin. The flowering led by the unicorns in ascension around the world, driving unity home. And unity is UN, one, and then I in gratitude, which is that ultimate energy. The 137 of the leap to the King of Cups, which is unconditional love, and the 3 keys of alchemy, the 3 gamma waves as well, and the boomerangs, right? What goes around comes around. The underlying energy of, and that's that word Mind, M-Y-N-D, I think. That kept coming up in multiple word definitions. The underlying energy of the Empress of the wheat fields, and the Page of Water, and the young buck. The acing of the earth, which the initials came up as EPA, instead of ETA, the EPA, the Empress of PA, or the Father, which can represent Pennsylvania as well. But page 1 of water and earth, of mother and daughter and son. And now I'm getting unwritten. So again, page 1 of your story. And the 10 of earth, the 2 of fire, which is 12, but also 2 tens is 20. 12 is the hanging man, 20 is that judgment call, the wake-up call, the high vibe heaven on earth, and the twin flames, choice of path, bridging, as in Bridie, little girls and the giraffe with a very tall and long neck, lighting her way and carrying her home. So if you're getting anything about the giraffe, please let me know, because I wasn't getting a whole lot about the giraffe connection, but I might not be aware of that symbolism. But again, Toys R Us is definitely coming up with Jeffrey and being childlike, but there's this energy of the little girl on the giraffe being worn out, like she's kind of slumped over on the giraffe, out of energy. The 8 of Pentacles was coming up as the base camp, the base of the tree, the music and the strings of the roots. And again, the cello or bass energy coming up here. Waiting for the bow, right? So we have the cello or the bass, but there's no bow present. The bow is the arc, the bridge to activate them, the DNA strands, the twin flames working to align with consistent growth, and the strength of the lion's longing and howl at the new moon solstice. And solstice is the soul, not just the soul sun, but the soul of the human, and the stitch, the prick, the stab, and the point. So again, there's that reference of being stabbed in the back in that iron cross. The sun's point of extreme, the equinox, the evening of things out, the soul point of the heartbeat, and evening out at the equinox, which is equal, and then the ox of the oxen, who pulls it through, which is also kisses and hugs, and also gives lots of kisses and hugs. The equalizer I'm getting. Okay, so the solstice is the point, and again, referencing the solstice to the heartbeat, where you have the actual heartbeat of the systolic and diastolic, and then you have the evening out as the equinox on either side, or the masculine and feminine energies. Helping the lamb and the lion align. The giraffe and the caretaker. And again, giraffe and Toys R Us. As the 5 of Swords is here, that 59, that moment before, the war within, right? The anticipation of and anxiety that you could feel. In the underwater ballet, on tow, with mask and tightrope, in Swan Lake, with doves in tow, 5 of them. Mitos and arabesque. So mitos and arabesque. And arms stretched forward. And here's that energy of stretching all your limbs in different directions in the perfect balance. But you're making it really hard on yourself, right? Rarely can people do that position on toe, right? That hurts. As not many can do that. Don't make it so hard on yourself. Do surrender, relax, and stretch the war within. Allow the pipes and the channels to clear naturally. Stretch and yawn and long if needed, and howl or howl, as Buddha will smile and take you there. So remember to put that smile on your face too, of the 152, and Buddha's connecting right now. At 152, the leap of the masculine to the Queen of Swords, Lady Liberty there. As the day yesterday was 33/6, along with the 20 of the wake-up call, the 6 of Wands of the journeyman coming in with the good news at the end of the war, right, with success and victory and to lead the way, and leaping to the Queen of Swords. And again, there's that energy of Ellis Island coming to the Statue of Liberty, coming to America, and Neil Diamond again. The 10 of Cups of Buddha, sitting in the waterfall, sitting in the diastolic pressure, the baseline blood pressure. And then Lisa Renee comes up in one of these cards too, as being in the clouds, clearing out the old feathers from the clouds that are stuck, so that you might feel a little bit of a throat tickle, as I have been feeling like my throat going a little bit at certain points, with her bent wings. And again, you people may be dealing with wing issues as well. Maybe not the same exact wing issue as mine, but are you dealing with issues with your wings and bent wings? In traps or your trapezoids, bent wings and traps and release. The Page of Swords says, spread your wings out, up, and back while smiling like Buddha. As little birdie, and that's coming up as Bridie, or Scorpio is transforming and tempted to take a bite, or Capricorn is, with 2 cards and 5 cards, which is representing the 2 and the 5 of the Hierophant and the High Priestess. The High Priestess and the Hierophant, right? So she is the old world shaman, right? Considered a witch. But she is the High Priestess to the magician of the Hierophant, the master of the hidden house, the alchemist. They're both alchemists, the psychics and the masters of the hidden house. Where there's no water in the 4 elements, all you have to do to bring water in is to smile, to balance the emotions. At 159, the underlying energy of the roses and the love life, of hands together as the monk or nun, after release from imprisonment and or this slavery. The Atlantis, dolphins, and pains of the DNA, and the pillar stranding, still standing at the bottom of the sea. So here's that energy of the pillars of Atlantis still being at the bottom of the sea. And again, the Bermuda Triangle comes up. There's definitely been pyramids and other things found. So again, the roses and love life of hands together as the monk or nun after the release of imprisonment and or slavery. The Atlantis, dolphins, and pains of DNA, or pangs, that longing energy, and the pillars stranding, still standing at the bottom of the sea. And again, here's that bubbling up, right? When something falls to the bottom of the sea, it's displacing air, which then releases air bubbles up, like gas through a system, or the underground sewer systems as well. And that can be water systems too, as the angel sonics, to lift your wings, to release the wound of arms being tied out and up for persecution and inquisition. So again, when your arms have been tied up, so you're clearing that energy by doing that stretch. And communal living was coming up with that as well. The persecution and inquisition of the witch being tied up and tortured. In communal living, the mountain caves. When did that, somebody talked about the mountains too. Oh, that had to do with Bridget, I think. Let's see. But the mountains have been coming up nonstop too. So the communal living, like the caves inside the mountain of a whole bunch of people living there. And then Teddy was yawning right at that moment. So there's that lion's, yell or longing or birthing yell. The wall, the fortress, the building of karmic relationships, stuck with them all, right, whether you like it or not, in the wall. The dolphins, angels, and high priestesses, and then Mary Poppins was coming up as one who pops in and out from nowhere without asking. So, right, that nosy neighbor. As the community is the face of the mountain, and the layers or planes of karmic relationships falling apart, leaving on a jet plane. And then Benny and the Jets was coming up as Benny, Benny, but it was coming up as good. This is good. So Benny and the Jets, and again, there's this energy of the ETs coming in. Phobias, orphans. Oh, I know why the wall was coming in. So Elena was talking about the wall and the mountain, but I think that came up with Bridget as well. But when I got it, I was also getting the base, the president's base, which is at right where Pennsylvania meets Virginia. I don't think it's West Virginia. There's a right there. The mountains right there is a bunker for the president in case of nuclear wars type of thing. But it's definitely a base where ships are coming in. I was getting that. And there's another one we saw on the way up when I drove back up with my son. I think it was in North Carolina, and I mentioned it before too. It was on the left on the highway when we were coming back home. We actually saw it in the middle of the woods and were wondering what it was. But phobias of being an orphan, the scribe and the writer then coming up. Your only friend as your pen, as the soldier leaves, bringing up fears of being orphaned, and only pen or pen pals imprisoned and the war within. So that can reference a prisoner as well, right? So if someone gets put away, you'll still be by yourself. You'll only be pen pals, or your pen will be your best friend because you'll journal and go within. The galactic travel now and the vows of chastity while they're gone. So before it was going off to war, now it's going to be going off to galactic realms. The Native American, the TP and the portal, and the alfalfa sprouts of twigs to light up or blast off of the cone. The galactic sisters, and there's bringing up the Pleiades, of vows to watch out for those Native Americans, the shamans and their children, in baskets, and there's that energy of Moses in the basket, and shipped off to sea. Holy Moses and holy ships coming into America today. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing, of thee I sing today. So again, this energy of the orphans who are left alone, releasing those fears as they're coming to America. The amoeba ships was coming up as the ami, or the friends, and the ba, which that we brought that ba word up the other day as well. The soul, or the bird-headed figure, and then Thoth comes up there, and Thoth is Thoth, to the nth degree of the human embodiment of source, to the nth degree on either side. Again, the two pillars, and then the human in the middle. The friend of the human and the Thoth energies, the mother, father, the island and the water, the Baba black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. And then it was referencing, because we've been collecting Teddy's hair for a pillow, so I could put it in a pillow for Jenna. And the Christ M, the AM, as in the morning, was coming up here. Like I am, Christ am, in the morning, 3 bags full. And native friends are coming up as the baby ships. And shh, not UPS, but IPS, the Intergalactic Postal Service, who land in the wall of the mountain where ships are docked. And again, the Philadelphia experiment. So the Philadelphia airport is where they had that fleet of ships that started the ship that was involved in the Philadelphia experiment. And those taken from communities as babies to the ships, and the interbreeding from the teepee to the ship, or the Confederate ship, was coming up here. So at 2:21, and again today's the 21, and Columbus coming to America today. the energy of Neil Diamond. And so I looked up his background, which is very interesting. It's very similar to my own. His father was Polish, his mother was Russian, and I thought I was mostly Polish with a little bit of English and German in my DNA. But then we found out my father's father was Russian because we never knew him. So I'm actually a quarter Russian as well on my father's side, so the reverse of Neil Diamond. And again, he's Ashkenazi Jewish, which is the same as me. So I broke down Ashkenazi. By the way, Neil Diamond sang in high school with Barbra Streisand, and that came up from hollowverse.com, and the other information from ethniccelebs.com. So Ashkenazi is Ash, which in Pleiadian, according to Elena Denon, is bright light. Ken, which I've also defined that recently, which has lots of meanings, but to give birth, to perceive, sighting, so seeing something, and then children's groups. And then the Azi is that's where the Japanese double-edged sword also came up in Ken. But it's also laugh and smile, and again, the Buddha energy. The kindred spirits, to become acquainted with, aloud, regarding, liking the wheel. And then Azi, A-Z-I, is to know. So again, kind of the same energy as the Ken energy. So the energy of the bright light and the smile, to become acquainted with that, to know. So to be in your knowing as opposed to your belief. Today, smile. So again, do that stretch with the smile. Stretch up, back, and out with a smile on your face, to become acquainted with, to know about your other connections today. So again, bringing in all your energies, and I'm sure I didn't bring up Arcturians. The Arcturus system could be coming up as well. But the main system of Sirius, Pleiades, Andromeda, the Lyran system, and the Arcturian system coming up here for you to connect with. Connect with all of them today. And again, in that ritual of that rebel yell, of the birthing yell, today coming to America, as all that energy is being infused into today. And again, that triangle between Philadelphia and Washington and Egypt, and the Bermuda Triangle. And it's interesting too, the Bermuda Triangle, I've been in all three places with my father. Is it three? So it's Bermuda, and then Puerto Rico, and then the Florida Keys. So I've been in all three places with my father, which is really interesting, because I never thought I would be saying that. Was I in Bermuda? I don't think I was in Bermuda with my dad, but I've been there several times, and he has as well. I was in Bermuda with my children. There's that reference of bringing that energy together. I was with my dad in the Florida Keys when I was 14 years old. We went out to an ocean reef back at that time to go snorkeling in the ocean reef, which was really cool, from the Ocean Reef Club, which then later burnt down. But I always remembered as a child, they had the dolphins entertaining at lunchtime right there next to the bay. It was really cool. So we're bringing in all those energies, as the underlying energy here at 229 is the Divine Feminine and the Three of Wands, the Hanging Man reversed and the Four of Pentacles upright. In the Divine Masculine's aha moment, an awakening and holding on to the Ten of Cups of that emotional fulfillment, or Pisces or Capricorn reversed and Divine Masculine bridged to X by the Ten of Cups family, or the Capricorn reversed and Gemini reversed, holding on to the appearance of a happy family in a breakup, or dropping the ball, dropping the act, the facade, or the breaking of patterns here, or perhaps tripping up, or embarrassing oneself in front of the Knight of Swords, coming in fast, knocking the Knight of Wands reversed over or out of their way, as the Magician with DNA strand or wand of the Ten of Pentacles reversed family, and is again claiming that DNA, the children. Again, it's kind of a gross energy of marrying someone for their DNA. It's making me feel nauseous right now, actually, in my stomach. Someone claiming the title of the family they marry into, right, through their children. There's some kind of misuse of that. And the Ten of Pentacles reversed, overwhelmed in the release, triggered to release and come clean, or clean up their act, to be the Page of Wands, back and forth, with kind offers being ignored, uncomfortable with the wounded warrior on guard day and night and rising above, as the Page of Pentacles reversed is in need of help, as the Emperor reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed, clinging to issues at the workplace, or leaders stepping down, with Aries and Scorpio both reversed, and the Page of Cups reversed, rejected, but ultimately satisfied with they're ultimately satisfied with themselves, even though rejected, and ending the war within, with the Queen of Cups reversed, perhaps someone with Cancer in their chart, or the new moon. The moon reverse represents for me the new moon, which just happened along with the solstice today, and being up early with the Nine of Pentacles sovereign, and no choice but to call or announce the wake-up call, or perhaps shouting in someone's ear, or all hell broke loose. Perhaps everyone was thrown out, or crowns were blown, tops, and minds were blown in a sudden rejection or jealousy or split, with Aquarius and Scorpio both upright here, and the Page of Cups, Queen of Cups, and Knight of Cups all reversed, here fully exposed or needing clarity and got it, knocked off their high horse or under the radar, healing and getting back up boldly to end the battle with the Empress upright and the Six of Cups upright, with the Hermit reversed or Taurus upright, and Virgo and Leo both reversed, as we haven't hit Leo and Virgo yet because we're now in Cancer, or with the energy of being weak. Or coming out about weakness. A pet, a child, or egos in disconnect or at a distance, with the Two of Cups reversed, energies of not seeing eye to eye or face to face, or just malaligned, with the King of Cups reversed, with no peace, and losing patience, or perhaps losing their temper as well. The fallen angel sees a ghost, or synchronicities, illusions, the X factor, and justice or judge or lawyer, or with lawyer. The Queen of Swords may be Libra energy as well, speaking out about the past fall or embarrassment, a fall from grace. And again, representing Queen of Swords represents Lady Liberty. And the energy of Ellis is coming up here as that King of Cups energy, right? Of being the King of Cups, but it's reversed here, without peace, trying to make their way to America. And the Queen of Swords, Libra, speaking out about the past fall or embarrassment, a fall from grace, a tumbling over, or really hurt themselves, with the Ten of Swords in their back. So again, the stabbing in the back, and coming together to celebrate, which may be unfair to the Queen of Wands, when they can't sleep or are stressed out, trying to end the nightmare of the Five of Pentacles, of being out in the cold or homeless, or just destitute in some way, with the High Priestess reversed. Or this could be a tell-all that they want to, that the pen is their only friend, so to speak. At 249, the High Priestess or Divine Feminine, and finding their happiness with themselves. Or one who can't keep secrets. And the Sister also can be coming up here at 250. Again, the emotional fulfillment of the Divine Feminine. So the Devil waves, or temptation perhaps, or the ball and chain, as the Queen of Cups is upright here, destined to keep the golden goose in check. Those in exile, or injured or ill, taking their story to those who will listen. Pisces or Virgo reversed with Capricorn upright, and Queen of Pentacles with Libra here. The Queen of Wands, perhaps Sister or Capricorn Queen of Pentacles, and Divine Feminine Libra or Pisces, who is whole and complete and coming full circle. Perhaps divorced or in a divorce, or just spiritually out there, outside the box, saving for a new life, or withholding and playing hardball, as the Page of Swords steps up to swing, and the King of Wands and the King of Swords, both reversed here, are receiving information that knocks them off balance. The Knight of Pentacles receives an offer of new passion from the Four of Wands, union of the home, getting over loss, regret, for dreams to come true, assessing their worth and standing their ground. As the stars are out here, and again referencing both the stars in the sky, but you as the stars, with the Seven of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands, the sovereign energy of the Divine Feminine's heart, and standing up for themselves. The Divine Feminine's heart ended up being in this read on one end, literally, and the Divine Masculine's heart was at the other end of the message. The Divine Feminines with the upper hand, standing their ground in unity consciousness. So that was your message of the day. So, and Indy brought up 5552, which has come up several times for me as well in my reads this week. There's a couple more messages here. Just want to see if there's anything significant for you guys. Again, being present with the star Sirius, a fool's leap to the mountain source, right, to the mountain. An energetic exchange of unity, consciousness, and the journey of transformation and breaking the chains. And again, Elena always talks about that from her source contact, Thor Han. I don't know if that was Thor Han or somebody else she connected with that said, you can't free someone who won't let go of their own chains. I'm just paraphrasing. But a fool's wish of sun and love, opening a page to release the air or gas, with clear skies forward, being careful when climbing mountains in the future, with hand fasting and breaking of chains. And I was just getting, like, how you have to put chains on your tires when you go up the mountain. Right, when you use those because it's a slippery slope, and that came up as the icy bridge. But here you're able to break the chains, being careful when climbing mountains in the future. As you hold hands, but you break the chains. You don't need the chains on your tires to keep you from slipping because you are holding each other. That's a very beautiful message. Again, there's going to be temptations here to test you, to see if you'll fall into that trap. Again, there's dark energies coming in, trying to play out their last hands. This energy of trying to get your ducks in a row, trying to gain back what was lost or earn back what was lost. Perhaps feeling drained and need a vacation and surrender. There's a lot of intense energies coming in these past few days. Letting go to fix and make amends, what little is left to make dreams come true. The energy of ascending to heaven on earth and howling at the moon. And again, what could be feeling like a losing battle, because I was feeling, there have been feelings, it's 11:33 on the clock right now. I've been getting those energies of, feeling sad or being uninspired. And it feels like it's pulling you back into your old ways, but it's just touching on those base energies to clear them once and for all. The energy of backwater, which is backpedaling, but in the water. That again, the spiral energies are coming down below again, and then to gain momentum to shoot up. The Master of the Hidden House coming clean with the whole truth, and the Knight of Wands starting over with the Knight of Swords reversed, making them perhaps feel bad. So someone might not be expressing their hurt feelings, which they need to do. And again, nip it in the bud by bringing it up when it happens instead of holding it back. That kind of energy was coming up as well. And again, this energy of someone getting a lot of attention at work, unfair, of the King of Cups getting a lot of proposals or unfair, making their partner insecure or disillusioned, as the Hermit reversed may not be seeing eye to eye with the King of Pentacles, but there's the energy of good news coming in and leading the way, but may not be well received at the moment. Dumping a load in need of help to share with the Empress or Mother Nature, and losing patience after the war or after the virus. Looking back at a broken heart, or the Page of Wands inspired by the Emperor and the High Priestess. So there's this reference of the Empress being separate from the Emperor and the High Priestess, which could be someone leaving a marriage and going into another relationship. but there's this energy of overwhelm with the energetic exchange, or just lots of energy back and forth, ending pain or in a painful end, not coming together with the King of Swords reversed. The Ace of Pentacles upright, which is that 698 pod as well. And again, it's this energy of someone, it's a negative person. It's the King of Swords reversed, coming in with the Ace of Pentacles upright, which is a big, powerful offer. But it's like, offering someone an offer they just can't refuse, to get them to look at them. And again, the energy of the bridge or the bride, right? Bridey. The Ten of Cups, happiness of emotional fulfillment. And the energy of rejection or jealousy or feeling moody or just feeling insecure, in your energies. And again, that energy of bridging you back to those, touching on those wounds that just need to be released, to let go. And again, the Leo in the chart, which is that lion's roar, the birthing with a mighty roar of Lionsgate. So we're pulling the solstice today into Lionsgate. All right, so I want to give you the read on the table too. So you'll have that energy. And it was interesting too, because I skipped a page between these two reads, and it was like a space that needed to be, like the air, the gap that needed to happen. It's like the air has to funnel through the system to kind of flush all the other crap out that was still, the residual that was still there. So let's pull these guys off of here. Let's not burn the house down. All right, and let's bring that off of here. All right, so the message on the table is here, as it's 1:11 on the clock, 31, which references that leap to source before starting over again. All right, so we have the Sirius deck, and then the Rider-Waite Mini for clarifiers. And this was done at 9:04 in the evening. Again, the SIRIAN Starseed deck cut, and at 9:20 I finished, which is the Hermit and the Judgment card, or the Wake Up Call. The major arcana here was the Solar Deity, or the Sun, Ascension, which is the World, and Reason, which is the Emperor. Prior to the read, Indigo came up, which is the Magician, and after the read was the Guidance card, which is the Hierophant, the Hierophant. And Indigo, I'm trying to think. Yeah, okay. So, and those are energies of Leo, Pisces, Aries, and then Gemini, perhaps Virgo, and then Guidance, which is Taurus. So we have 4 cups, 2 swords, and I was just losing my voice a little bit again too when the 4 of cups came up. The two swords, 1 wand, and 1 pentacle. So we have 42 and 11, which is the 2 of cups and justice, truth, balance, and alignment. The 2 of cups of, again, coming face to face. The Queen of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the Queen of Wands all coming up here. There's a lot, the Queen and Knight of Cups have been coming up constantly together. And then we have, after the read, the King of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the King of Cups. There was a lot of players in this read. The numbers, we just had double 4s, and that was it. All right, 44 is the 4 of Cups energy, which I just brought up when I started losing my voice at the 4 Cups. So the 44, the 4 of Cups, which is also the Hercules energy of her harvest, but also could be boredom and apathy, but grounding, integrating, and mastering how to receive love. We also had significantly 1, which is the Magician, 34, which is the energetic exchange, the arrows of love, the 7 of the boomerang, the key, the chariot, and also the Hanging Man, the King of Wands, the 45, which is that purging card, and then the 67, which is the Knight of Pentacles, and then 710, which is the 0 backing up the 71, which is the 3 of Pentacles, and for me that's the co-creation card. So the code line was all about the number 41, which is the Holy Grail for me, the Ace of Cups. And the messages came up as such. I was just getting Thoth as opposed to Thoth. So really the F is the Digamma energy, right, kind of to the nth degree there. but it's within itself, so it collapses in upon itself. It's that folding in of the twin flame energy as opposed to the expansion, which is that tower explosive energy of to the nth degree. Fought is also the foot, and the footprint was coming up. But also pi, and both pi and phi were coming up. Phi and pi, right? Drawing outside the lines and then staying inside the lines. Again, odds and evens. And again, the dance between the masculine and feminine. And again, the heartbeat of evens and odds. The expansion, the contraction, and then the reflecting in the middle, the time out. The adept being key, which is also the knight in shining armor, or the night as in the nighttime, is a reset. A 41 of the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Swords union that is so balanced here. The digamma twin flame balance, the footprints of the adept being key, and again leaving the energy of those golden white footprints everywhere, like the Jesus footprints in the sand. And the Emperor acing the Knight of Swords unions of balance and moderation. And also do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do is coming up as the fa and the so, which is the F, or the fourth and the fifth, which is the 4 of stability and the 5 of freedom. Again, the dance between those two of odds and evens, the stability and freedom, the foot soldier, and the source knight. 1 for 1 with the Knight of Swords union. Okay, so again, that balance, dancing between the masculine and feminine, the odd and the even, the stability and the freedom, and then the vertical dance of source energy and the foot soldier, 1 for 1 with the Knight of Swords union. The heart balancing, which is water and emotions, and the false start was also coming up here. In the timeout night 1, 4-1, the Knight of Swords union, and Saturday, woman. And Saturday night came up being key in the other messages that I gave to you already. The enemy, a tad testy, with an offer of love from the Knight of Swords union, being true to themselves. The union, the sound, the resonance, the saggy horse or home. And sag so was coming up, and sag off, or backing off from an opponent, or failing to attend something, or too much bending into the wind. And again, there's that off balance of Saggy, which is that King of Wands energy this year of learning how to balance their passions. So this started at 10:34, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the 8 of Wands, the energetic exchange and arrows of love. And it starts with the Queen of Cups reversed. So in this read, Queen of Cups reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed, but they have come up upright as well in other reads that I've done. We have those there, along with the Ace of Cups reversed in the middle, and the King of Cups is over here reversed, all right? So they're all reversed, except for the Page of Cups right here, okay? So that was significant. The underlying energy below that was the 10 of Swords reversed, Indigo upright, 4 of Pentacles upright, which in this deck, SIRIAN Starseed, is the Divine Masculine's heart in the Batcave, the 2 of Pentacles reversed, and then the 6 of Wands upright. Below these cards was the Wounded Warrior upright, in the Bliss of Indigo proposal of the Divine Masculine's heart, needing to surrender to all that is, to bring forth, and again the fourth energy of the 31, where 3 represents the 1, 2, 3 jump, 2, 4 of the Lambda leap, the source energy before starting at 1 again. To bring forth good news, victory and leading the way, with the Queen of Cups reversed, uncomfortably stuck with no movement and dreams dashed perhaps, or feeling that way, but refusing to walk away from the one-to-one soulmates and helping others find balance and justice or charity if needed. Post-war trauma and ending emotional attachments or dumping them all, with sunshine exposure and destined to keep the golden goose in check, needing to end this, the need of peace after a death or near-death experiencing, hitting the books and not giving up, and again opening into a page, which I guess I'm going to be doing for you. Gemini upright, Cancer reversed, Leo upright, Scorpio and Libra reversed, as the Queen of Cups reversed is without peace, but in great need of some, at 10:44. There's the 44 of the 4 of Cups again. And the 10 is the Wheel of Fortune for me, which is Libra for me. The recent past is the 4 of Cups upright, an island to themselves, And remember, that came up as a very significant card. Wishing upon a star as the Queen of Cups reversed Scorpio, or with a sudden event, an epiphany or sexual experience, with the King of Swords upright, claiming their independence for work, or with independent child at work or school. And that can be Lady Liberty as well. Or the Queen of Cups reversed may have Cancer in their chart, sharing an epiphany, or the Queen of Cups reversed and the King of Swords upright with Scorpio, or Tower event between them, or the Queen of Cups reversed is shocked to find the King of Swords very independent at work or very single. So at 10:53, which is again that Libra energy with the Knight of Swords, the foundation of the Knight of Cups reversed in a heated exchange to get the truth out and recover from a loss and injustice. With Leo, Gemini, or Virgo upright, and both Scorpio and Libra are both upright and reversed, which can represent two different people or just alternating energies, and or the Cancer reversed here. The central energy is the Ace of Cups reversed, with the Queen of Cups and Knight of Cups both reversed, overwhelmed and stranded, leading the way to help others recover, needing strength for the King of Cups reversed, who's reaping rewards with the Page of Cups upright, or perhaps some kindness, or the Divine Feminine's heart. As the challenge being the Knight of Swords, passing 5D messages of the Page of Wands, who's excited to finally come clean with the King of Wands reversed, who may feel pushed to his emotional limit, with the Emperor reversed or out of control. And you see how this is passing the buck in a negative way, right? So one is excited to finally be free from someone else who's pushed to the limit by someone else, or the Emperor reversed out of control, with the powers that be moving on or making an offer. The challenge being getting the word out, with the Queen of Cups and Knight of Cups reversed, stuck, prevented from forward movement with the justice system. And now crowning was the Sun upright, with exposure of all and frustration of the wounded warrior upright, perhaps ignoring kindness offered in separation with lover, or Gemini upright with the Knight of Swords upright, and the Page of Pentacles upright at home, with new information keeping them up at night, or how to manifest patience, balance, and that higher love. Soon coming up here is the Queen of Wands upright, with the Queen of Swords upright, speaking on the Six of Cups reversed, whether that's a falling out in the past, a bad childhood, past life experience with others, or just a negative experience in the past coming forward, as well as having trouble with children, in a falling out or kids acting up and coming together, or kids kept from their mother and needing closure now that the worst is over, looking back. With Aries and Pisces both reversed, the twin flame energy of the Seven of Swords reversed, coming clean or needing to receive downloads, after perhaps the King of Wands and the Emperor both reversed, were watching them and not happy about the information. With the Star and Hierophant both upright, or dreams of commitment or marriage has become a burden, the Star, Hierophant, or Master of the Hidden House, with the weight of the world, Aquarius and Taurus upright, a slave driver, and working out hard to. This could be that slave driver energy, or someone who's working out really hard, or just working really hard, perhaps in the yard, or carrying too much weight. Detoxing with secret passion of Capricorn, Pisces, or Virgo all reversed, or establishment working really hard to discredit alternative spiritual people, and again there's that dark energy making a last-ditch effort to get in your way, or needing to tap into their intuitive side when detoxing with the Page of Swords reversed, or immature communication, or just no replies, or the Page of Swords reversed may be an Aquarius energy, or screaming to wake up the dead, or being really noisy upstairs with Aquarius and Taurus upright driving hard, and Capricorn, Pisces, or Virgo reversed. But Aquarius could be spreading rumors or lying behind a facade of flawless integrity, and again that facade, or hiding behind an institution's reputation. Okay, so if an institution, whether that's good or bad, again the person being the opposite and hiding behind that. In the wake-up call to offer a settlement or payment to the Eight of Swords hostage, or the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups both reversed, or the institution must pay punitive damages here. So that could be a victory for the plaintiff there. As around the twins are how they're seen is the ascension world reversed, the world upside down, at night keeping to themselves, and I was just getting, at night when all the world's asleep, the questions run so deep for such a simple man. So again, there's that energy of clearness at night in order to do the work, right? Because not everyone's up in that 3D energy, causing blockages in the realms. Around the Queen of Wands upright and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, with Pisces reversed and Cancer upright here, the Queen of Cups, Knight of Cups, and King of Cups all reversed there, with the Emperor reversed and the King of Wands reversed, and then another set of the Page of Swords and the King of Cups both reversed, with Leo and or Fire upright and Pisces and Aries reversed at 11:33, which came up a little while ago. So that alignment with the Christ vibration and unity consciousness, but also the bridge to 6D coming up now as well, right? Because 5D is that jump off point to anywhere, and 6D is instant manifestation, and 33 being that bridge of unity consciousness. The block being the Three of Pentacles upright, the workplace or school, the Knight of Swords messages, and freed by the 5D connection with the Empress reversed, or free from having to take care of the Empress reversed when at work. With Aries upright and Taurus reversed, and there's that energy of the changing of the guards with the North Node, the Emperor reversed losing the battle with the King of Pentacles upright, with no choice but to drop the facade, the ball, the act, or the patterns, with the King of Wands reversed, and get over any loss or regret, with guidance, the Hierophant, the marriage, the Page of Swords reversed, and the King of Wands reversed, which is, a lot of negative energy and manipulations with conditions of love at 11:38, which is the Queen of Cups again, to 11:39, which is the Knight of Cups. Perhaps trapped hiding in the woods with the Page of Pentacles, who's curious to learn after a death or perhaps near-death experience, and needing the cycle to end, with the Queen of Swords upright, overworked or just not working out, with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, Seven of Pentacles upright, and the Nine of Pentacles upright, those three pentacles in a row, and the Hermit giving advice or shedding light on what the King of Pentacles upright is doing, perhaps too much work, or to stand up to the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, community of dysfunction or loss, with egos involved, or in a wake-up call, or in that aha moment about perhaps their own family, or their business, or their community. As the Queen of Wands could be Aries, free from the Empress reversed, and or the Queen of Pentacles reversed at work, which also could be Taurus reversed, or somebody with Taurus in their chart. The Queen of Wands may be very active at night, but the Queen of Pentacles reversed may be keeping to herself and tired, so very different energies. As the Page of Swords reversed may be talking too much, perhaps about having to bail out the Knight of Wands reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed, and maybe they literally, got arrested and put in jail, and that, there's only trouble that can happen with the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups both reversed out together. They could be trying to break out of a contract between the Emperor reversed and the King of Wands reversed, and the Page of Swords reversed with the King of Cups reversed. Challenged by a breakup or overwhelm, receiving deliveries or a message at work, with the King of Cups reversed, who could feel weak but with good news, recovering or daydreaming, with the Page of Cups upright, kindness offered. The King of Cups reversed may be trapped between the Page of Swords reversed and the Page of Pentacles upright, clinging to the Queen of Swords upright, who's always working or no longer around, for the Seven of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles, or King of Cups reversed, reaping rewards of the Divine Feminine's heart and or independent child, or that Nine of Pentacles sovereign catch. So Taurus upright, Scorpio reversed, which is the North and South Node now, changing to Aries and Libra at July 17th or 18th. The King of Pentacles is upright, with the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles all upright here, but the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress are reversed. There could be bad news from the Capricorn and Pisces reversed, announced at 12:04, the Hanging Man and the Emperor, coming clean or in rehab, or getting cleaned up or bailed out, as the Queen of Cups and Knight of Cups are reversed, coming clean and needing to ascend, feeling alone or disillusioned and overwhelmed. So people are going through it in different ways. So some might just feel it like I was explaining, but someone might also end up going to jail to clear something. The challenge being the Knight of Swords upright and the Queen of Wands upright at work or school, exposing the Emperor reversed and the King of Wands reversed, who may be getting over some loss or regret, or a contract or commitment, a religion or a marriage, the establishment with the Page of Swords and the King of Cups both reversed, hiding from the Page of Pentacles who's upright and curious. This can also be an invitation or an opportunity, and a need to transition with the Queen of Swords who's getting sharp with their need to assess their worth and move it up a notch. Or are they ready for their true match at 12:08, the Hanging Man in the dance? So the Queen of Cups reversed with the Four of Cups upright and that Knight of Cups reversed, both alone and overwhelmed or in a breakup or dumped on, and challenged by the Knight of Swords upright, exposing all. Coming clean or cleaning up with the Queen of Wands, ready or needing closure at work, with the Emperor and the King of Wands getting over it, with guidance for the Page of Swords and the King of Cups, perhaps who are hiding from an opportunity or clinging to the Queen of Swords upright, who's working hard to align and assess worth or valuing. This could be evaluating property as well, literally, at 12:12, which is the dance between the two hanging out, or the two energies of two perspectives, or the two sides of wisdom, the feminine masculine, right? His side, her side, and then the truth in the middle. So I guess I was being called to open a book. So I'm going to open up the page from Elena's book. Okay. So let's see where we're opening up to. All right. So Ashban Hu. Remember, Hu means who from Man, originally being from Man, and we have page 221 after the Fool's Journey. So the Ashban Hu. And by the way, Bellatrix is on the next page. Oh, that's interesting. Because in the Mesopotamia video she was doing, Elena Denon, some of the statues, she had drawn a picture of Enlil, but this is coming up as Bellatrix, but the heads kind of look like that. But here is this page coming up for you guys, the Ashban Hu. So I'm going to read that to you, just this one page. This says they live in a planetary system called Aspa Prime on the planet Orobon. The Aspa systems, very surprisingly, were a very long time ago populated by Ahel and the Nor humanoids, which are that I brought that up the other day from her about the Lyran systems. The Ahel and Nor, where the Nors are the giants. They're both fair, kind of blonde to redheads and fair eyes and skin. But the Nors were the giant humanoids, fleeing the attack of the man system by the Seekar. The Colons rapidly built prosperous civilization extending on the 14 planets of this quadruple star system. An incident happened by the past regarding to territorial boundaries with the Grail from Mintaka, an aggressive local gray reptiloids from a nearby star, unfolding unto a violent war which lasted 300 years, eventually won by the Grail. The Grail claimed they were here before them, as native, and though their homeworld was in the Mantaka system, the Aspa'a was part of their territories. In truth, they wanted to take over the resources of the economic empire built by these Man or Lyran colonies. The conflict war, horrendously ferocious, and after all resources were scrapped off the 14 worlds by the Grail, and there's that 14 coming up, all surviving life sought underground shelters. Luckily, the Nor group managed to escape the global genocide to the Procyon system and rebuilt there a new colony of their own, naming themselves the Eldari. Fate unfortunately fell onto their disfavor when the tenacious Grail localized them and paid them a disastrous visit. For those who remained in the Aspa'a's system, an even more criminal fate befell onto them. The Grail took them all to be made into slaves, but in the most ignominious way, by a slow genetic mutation, and there's that energy of the hourglass slowly coming down, the sand being very slow. But in the most ignominious way by a slow genetic mutation through a hybridization program with the help of the Zetan Greys technology. Let me remind you that to this point, the Orion Alliance of the Six was freshly formed and all technologies shared in common for the most malevolent purposes. This is how progressively a new mutant slave race was engineered, crossbred between Lyran humanoids and Zeta Reticuli Greys, or the Shamdihali from XROG. This new race represented the genetic best of both species and was used as a template for the developing programs of human-gray hybridization. On Terra, the Orion Empire is well and deeply involved with the programs of the U.S. Telos Alliance and share also territorial underground districts with the Seekar Empire. But again, a lot of that has cleared since she wrote this book, so that's not necessarily completely true, as per her. So again, that's the Aspan Hu and the Greys here. Okay. So this is this hybrid energy. Very interesting. So see why that's coming up. And Bellatrix. Let me see something here. Okay, so Aspa-Az from Rigel. So the energy right outside of Orion, I think it is in that dragon. Rigel is the star right there of the dragon that faces Orion, which isn't part of, it's not, that's something I found from someone's website. Orion facing himself in the dragon, where the tip of the dragon's tail becomes the Pleiades system, but that's not a constellation. It's in Taurus, actually. But that's coming up here as significant. Rigel, the Rigel star. Okay, you guys. So there may be a connection with that star too, Rigel, for today as well. So you might want to feel into that. Do what you feel, not what I say. But I'm just bringing up those energies for you to resonate or not resonate with them. Okay. So remember your water, your rest, your joy, your nature. Rise and be love, you guys.